So I'm just going to raise my hand and you click the button for the presentation. The next, basically what I'm going to show you is something which I discovered in the last couple of years, which really astonished me. And I realized that Sindhis really don't know what they lost. You can carry on. Of course, we think of Sindhis as a mercantile community, and of course, we know that there are Amils who are very educated. They're a minority, but they carry a lot. But even they don't know this, that there's a art heritage of Sindh which started in prehistoric times, and it never stopped. I mean, Sindhis, when you see the pictures I'm going to show you, you will get a sense of what I'm trying to say. So we are looking at Mohenjo-daro, and these are images that you're familiar with. I'm just going to raise my finger like this. I hope So what we have here is, of course, there were rock carvings all over, the prehistoric time. And they've been documented in Sindh. They are all over. In fact, when my family and I went to Sindh, we also saw some of these. Everywhere, and there's some areas which are very rich. And what I've done here is these images are from a book. You can see menhirs, you can see dolmens, you can see... Carry on, please. Next slide. So then you come, and I'm showing you pictures from a book because that makes it much easier. You can see the name of the book there as well. So from the rock art, then you come to intricate carvings. Next slide, please. And then it settles into a kind of remembrance art. Next slide. We have hero stones and sati stones in parts of Thar. Of course, you see them in Rajasthan and Gujarat also. Next slide. Please keep going. This you don't see here. These are the tomb art and necropolises. Next slide. Next slide. This is the next slide. Matli, which is a full hillside of carved stones. And this is very common in Sindh. Next slide, please. One of the interesting things is that Sindh was a land of multi-faith worship. And you see these religious iconography of various religions in the same place. Next slide. I will let you feast your eyes. I have nothing to explain here. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. So you can see some of the pictures are current. Even today, you have this. Next slide. Next slide. Next. 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 Just go back, please. You can see the one in the right corner, that's a camel. So, carving on camels is also quite popular. Next slide. And these are inside the temples, inside the tombs, I'm sorry. Next slide. Next. Again, this is a current picture of shared faith in the same shrine. Next. Next. Yeah, thanks to Zulfikar. He's an anthropologist based in Islamabad. I just wanted to acknowledge him for the fabulous documentation he does. Next slide. Coming back, this is 1843. Much, something new came to Sindh when the British came. Next slide. Just a quick representation of the new medium and the new styles that came. Next slide. Of course, we have the British to thank. Next slide. For showing us what Sindh looked like at that time. Next slide. Because next, we also have them to thank for preserving the traditional arts. This potter of Hala was actually brought to Mumbai by Lockyer Kipling, who was the first dean of the J.J. School of Art, to share his art. Next slide, please. And then Henry Cousins, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but whatever, he was the superintendent of the Archaeological Survey of India. Next, and he documented, next, the tiles, the fabulous tiling of Sindh. Next, next. So here we come to something which was actually people lived in and was surrounded by. I don't think that I couldn't imagine this quality of architecture. Next, which is very much Sindhi. These are Shikarpuri buildings. Next. Whether it's the balconies, next. The doors, next. Next. The windows, next. The tiles, next. The floors, next. More tiles. The balconies, next. Please carry on. You can see the lintels and the ceilings and the ladder, the staircases. Just stop for a minute. Next slide. Yeah. So here, just go back, please. Sorry, Aruna, I've forgotten what it's called, but I want you all to thank Aruna Madnani because she brought this large cupboard. I'm sorry, I can't remember what it's called, but you can see one in the Partition Museum in the Lost Homeland Gallery. And Aruna brought it from Chicago. You can actually go and see it. Next slide. So then, of course, we come to this thing which we know, everything changed. Next slide. This is one of my favorite photos because you can see, and it's very sad because you can see these very ambitious and earnest young men. But it was March 1947, and they had no idea in the next few months their whole lives were going to be turned upside down. You can see the hope on their faces. Next slide. Next. Now photography is a thing in Sindh for partition. This was in the 1940s. Please carry on. Just keep going till I tell you to stop. People have shared their family photos with me. The first one you saw, that young woman, that was very common in those days. They would take these portraits to show to family of the groom or the family of the bride. Just happy photos. Next. Family portraits. And then, of course, you come to the journalistic documentation of what happened during partition. Next. And this one is the most famous photograph of partition in Sindh, where Margaret Burke-White was a photographer for Life magazine, and she did a lot of the Punjab photographs. There are 3 Sindh pictures which are on the docks, and they show you so much. Next. And then, of course, after partition, the artists had to show us what life was like before, because there was no other way for us to know. Next. Yeah, we're going to see a dance of this at the end of today, and I hope you're all going to sit here, because after this, it gets better and better. Mengraj next. Mengraj Tanreja was born in 1924 in Shikarpur, and in his 80s, he started painting from his memory of Sindh. So, this guy with the matka who sang on the street.
Just be careful, please. Not from
pounding bhang for Holi. Next. And this is on the left. These are photos he gave me from his own, from his life. On the left, it's him in a refugee camp in Kalyan. He's obviously still painting. And he was at art teacher James School of Art and in a college in Ulhasnagar. On the right, he's giving a workshop for the NBT. Next. This is from one of my books, which is a children's book. I found a fabulous artist. What I'm trying to say is we can still see partition through the eyes of survivors when they describe it, and you get a very skilled artist who can convert it into a historically authentic image with recognizable people. Next. Now I'm going to take just a few seconds to tell you about contemporary Sindhi artists. And of course, Nalini Malani, she is one of the world's best recognized artists. I interviewed her for my Amil book. I didn't realize how great she was until one day I walked into the National Gallery in London. And there was this huge gallery of Nalini Malani's display of digital art. And that is an artist who was born in 1946. So she is very skilled and very progressive. Next, we also have Veena Bhargav, who is even older. She's in Calcutta. She's still producing. She's extremely respected. Next. And, the thing is that with Nalini and Veena, they both come from Tamil families, which makes it easier. The case of Mahirwan is very different because he came from a family that suffered during partition, but somehow he studied art in Delhi, and then he, through a German collective, he went to Munich and he still lives in Germany. He was born in 1934, he's still painting, and I haven't interviewed him, but we are Facebook friends. Next. Now coming to a few of my favorite contemporary artists. One is Revati, and these are ceramics which, she said that on a family trip to Jaisalmer, she's the daughter of Kumar Shahani and Meena, who are both well known in their professions. And they went to Jaisalmer and they felt the soil of Sindh in their hands, and that's something she never forgot. Next slide, Meena. Next slide, please. We get the next slide. Yeah. So Meenakshi is also, she's a young Mumbai artist, and she works with fabric. You can, I'm taking a second for you to read what she said. And then we come to Ru, who is here with us today. Ru, if you're here, can you please stand up? Because Ru is one of the most amazing people I know. Ru, hello. Have you run away? Okay, thank you, Ru. Thank you so much. Ru is amazing. She works with identity. Please move to the next slide. And next slide, please. Yeah, so this is something she did very recently, very, very moving when she was in Germany. And it's the Anatomy of a Migrant show. Next slide. So why did I call it Linking the Fireflies? It's because it's a project that I took up some time ago. And again, the Sindhi community is not connected with its art heritage. And also, being a largely mercantile community, there is a very transactional, no respect or no value for the creative process, which creative people feel should be there. So I've taken people like Ruben Meenakshi, and there are many others. I don't have the time today to talk about all the artists I've been fortunate enough to meet, but there are some, and they are going to be the fireflies which will link together and create a new light in the art for the Sindhi community. Next, please. So yeah, linking Fireflies. So this event. In this event, I'm launching a foundation which I recently registered, and it's called the Sindhi Saaz Foundation. I have to thank Dada Mohan Gehani for encouraging me to use my name, because I was going to call it Sindhi Tapestry, and he said no, tapestry could be anyone, and Sindhi Saaz has a real meaning. Please carry on to the next slide. So I'm very fortunate. This logo, which it's intersections, it's about connections, it's about renewal, it's about a new emergence of what we are doing to recover our past. It was made for the foundation by Benita Desai, who is a very well-known graphic artist. And actually, she's not a Sindhi. And my advisory board is largely non-Sindhi. And I picked them more for their solid project management experience, for their solid connections, and they have been a tremendous support. We've got up to a very good start. Next, please. I wanted to say, next, please. Yeah, so the whole purpose is there are very few people working in this field, and my ambition is to have a lot of people doing it. Next. So what I want to do is set up strong projects, identify good people. It doesn't matter whether they are Sindhi or not, because for me, it's very important that everybody should understand who the Sindhis are. I think that is even more important than the Sindhis understanding who themselves are, which is important, but Sindhis need to make a mark in the world because they really have a fabulous history, and that has been neglected for too long. And so, yeah, so that's my vision right now. Next, I wanted to just close with this last point, which is that I wrote this book in 2012, which was very long ago. At that time, I knew even less than I know now. But, when I think about it, when I occasionally, every few years, I read that book and I find it doesn't have that many false notes. So what I still have is the same value system, the same commitment, and funnily enough, the same palette. You can see the same colors. Thank you very much for listening to me. Thanks.